Oh, thank you. Yeah, I got a little studio audience. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tom's Guitar Show. I'm Tom. They call me Guitar Tom because I'm often seen with the guitar, and they call me on the phone and they say, "Hey, man, what's your show about anyway?" So it's about an hour about guitar players, guitar playing, all things guitaristic. So every now and then they might flash a number across your screen. You could call me up if you want to ask me a question about your guitar, the care and feeding of your guitar, what kind of guitar is right for you, how to play the guitar. Some related topic like the guitarrón, guitarra, chitole, luz, vihuelas, banjos, balalaikas, bazooki, especially like to talk about banjos, bajos sextos, tiples, cavaquinhos, bandoras, bandolins, mandolins, mandocellos, ukuleles, banjoleles, anything like that, of course. Sax and violins on television. Anything music related, pipe organs, piccolos, pianos, harmoniums, harpsichords, harmonicas, harps, Dixie harps, clarinets, clavinets, clavinovas, trumpets, trombones, trombamarinas, cornets, clavinets. I said clavinets. Anyway, anything musical, fun. Politics, world events, your own personality problems. Okay, I'm here for you, man, but keep it clean. This is a family program. Okay, anyway, so this week I'm fooling around. I got this Fender Princeton. I'm very, very pleased to have a Fender Princeton. I've been thinking about a Fender Princeton for a long time, and I didn't really have any money, but you know what I did have was a charge account with Sweetwater.com, which is an online music company store, I think it's out of Indiana someplace. And there's a guy there, always very nice to me, So I had this saga, I think I was talking about it on the show, but I'm trying to get a really small, warm-sounding tube amp so I could play a jazz guitar like this and get this full, rich sound out of it that I really want. So I bought one and from Sweetwater, and it made little noises. And then I read about it online, and like half the people said it was really bad, and other people loved it. But my problem with amplifiers is I don't want distortion. I mean, every now and then, sure, a little crunch for some reason, so I can act up, and But I want clean, full sound. And a lot of electric guitar players, they want, the crunchy rock and roll. So I'm not, I don't know, the jazz police might come and get me if I said I was a jazz guitar player, but I'm kind of more that way than I am like a rocker. And so anyway, I had to send it back. And then I also got, from West Music, I got a Fender Pro Junior 3, I guess, or whatever. It's a small tube amp with a kind of a large speaker, 12-inch speaker and a small amp. And it made all kinds of noises because it had been sitting at the Ottumwa store for years, and when they went out of business, I guess, the West Music store in Ottumwa, Iowa. So I, took it home, but I took it back. So anyway, I sent the little amp that I got back from the Sweetwater. I think I got like 15 or 20 emails back and forth with the guy at Sweetwater.com, He was very nice to me, very, very nice to me. And anyway, so I ended up getting this. And so I didn't have any money, but I had a charge account, so I got like 3 years to pay it off or something like that. I think it's like $600, $20 a week, or something, a month or something for. Anyway, hang on, I gotta move this slightly. Anyway, it's a great amp. It's Fender, tubes, all tubes. That reverb you're hearing, that's built into the amp. I usually don't like the onboard reverbs, but I like a little reverb. So the amp, anyway, what I'm nattering on about constantly is that it's a great amp. It's too big for the gigs I play. The restaurant gig, the church gig, so forth. I got to find a gig where I can have one this big. So anyway, that's my story. I'm going to play with it. Oh, listen to that thumping bass part. Oh. Yeah, it was fun. Thank you. Well, thank you. So I have a small audience. Now, normally, at this time of the month, I'd have my show upstairs at the man upstairs. No, with Uptown Bill's Coffee House, which is normally the last Tuesday of the month. We have our show live from the coffee house instead of here in the studio. And but we've been up there the last 2 weeks because we had St. Patrick's Day, and we had my little band. Sometimes it's called Tom and the Tribbles, and sometimes it's called Tom and the Tools when we play at the hardware store, because we actually play at Ace Hardware when they have a dog food and dog treat special. So it's I think we have one booked actually. We're booking one in May. Will be Tom and the Tools. Now April 11th, which I believe is a Saturday, at 11 o'clock in the morning. That's Bill Sachter's birthday. Who is the one that the coffee house is named after? Interesting character, Bill Sachter. They made 2 movies about him. But anyway, so we'll be up there with remnants of the band anyway, and it'll be called it's going to be called the Tom's Guitar Show All Stars. So when we play at the Trek Fest, which we just booked Trek Fest for this year. It's the last Saturday of June. We're Tom and the Tribbles. So it'll be some of the same characters. It'll be Donna on the ukulele and Joey on the string bass if we're lucky, and Lee will be on the rhythm guitar. I'll play whatever I can get my hands on. I'm playing a lot of banjo lately, but with the band. But and Ed, who is actually leaving his job as a public defender, is going to become a magistrate. So, did you ever watch Night Court or Tell It to the Judge? Judge Judy. Anyway, that's our mandolin player. Anyway, so depending on where you see us, we could be the Tom's Guitar Show All Stars, Tom and the Tools, or Tom and the Tribbles. So,
what was that first date you mentioned in April?
April 11th.
Okay, and what was that again?
That's Bill Sachter's birthday of Uptown Bill's. So we'll be upstairs, probably not televised. So anyway. We have Melissa on the tenor banjo, which is kind of fun. And I'm expecting a banjo blowout here pretty soon to do a banjo thing. I know that sometimes banjo players like drill holes in their fingers and stuff like that, and it's like not a good idea. And that slows progress, but I'm hoping to have 4 or more banjo players together on the stage at the same time, playing songs together. But that, the thing is, a lot of things aren't up to me. And then one of the reasons I play solo so much is because I don't have to, I wouldn't say depend on other people, but I don't have to, involve other people with my act. It's just me, my little looper, which is what I want to show you now. So down here I've got a Vox Lil Looper, not little, but L''I'', Lil Looper. And this is my most recent. I've been buying stuff used. It's kind of cheap lately. And if it's like $50, I'll buy it. See this red amp over here? I just bought that in Cedar Rapids, like an hour and a half ago, because it was used and it's red and it was cheap. But I know this amp. I have an earlier model of this amp, a black one that I've had for over 20 years, and I kind of like this. It's it's a Fender. These are both Fenders. That one retails for like $99.99 on the for the street price. I got it for like half of that because it's used, and this one is like $600, $700. No, it's more than that. That's right. I got a good deal on it. It's like this is closer to $1,000 for this Fender Princeton, but they're very different. Anyway, so. What I'm babbling about, though, about this looper is that this is the Vox little looper. It has 2 independent loops, but they can synchronize. So let me see if I can make this thing work the way I want it to. So I can make a little rhythmic thing, like use the guitar like a drum. There's a loop. Now, I can make another loop, too, which will be much longer than loop 1. Loop 1's very short. It says 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all it is. If I can go. See? I'm just fooling around now. I could do a better job. But, so I could do like a rhythmic thing, you know, for just a couple bars. Anyway, that's why I like the little looper, and I got it cheap. Yeah, I think pawn shop. I've only just begun, so anyway. I think I bent the strings a little too much. Well, I really like this jazz guitar sound I'm getting out of this tube amp. And the amp, it's not really that big, and it's not really that loud. I mean, for like a big, rock and roll type of thing, it'd be kind of small. But for what I'm doing, it's, for what I would do, it's too big usually. So I need to get a bigger gig. I am aware, though, that jazz guitar players, a lot of times your bar tab is actually higher than what you get paid, And that's, it's true. And I don't even drink, so that's how bad it is. You end up owing money at the end of the night if you're a jazz guitar player. As a classical guitarist, I get a modicum of respect, but modicum. So, speaking of styles of music, the end of the month show, in a month from now, the end of April, I think it's the 28th, we're going to have a big classical guitar blowout at Uptown Bill's Coffee House upstairs. It's going to have all the classical guitarists I can rustle up. We're going to do our thing and play some ensemble music and people playing solos. Hopefully have some cute kids. Donna's going to be playing classical music on the baritone ukulele, which actually is not that far from like the Renaissance guitar of like 500 or 600 years ago. The guitar in like 500 years ago was a small thing with 4 maybe pairs of strings, but it was basically like a baritone ukulele, and that's Donna's instrument. If you've watched the show before, you've probably seen Donna. She comes on fairly often. So she's going to play that. I have a young fella, little fella, I think he might be 5, who plays ukulele. And I might do a duet. Now, I'm not exactly sure if you can call Hot Cross Buns or Mary Had a Little Lamb, classical music. We're just started looking at Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and that theme of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, I've heard it in music from the 18th century, so it's an oldie but a goodie. But I don't know if we'll quite be ready for that. I know people are working their repertoire for this event already, and he's working on his. But so anyway, there'll be a number of people there, and I highly recommend the show. In about a month. I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to loop this. I'm starting to get in this groove, man. I'm playing it like jazz guitar. I call everybody man, even little girls. Hey, man. Well, I don't know where that came from, but it's all over now. So I got to make sure I know what how far in the show we are, because I was going to play the blue Stratocaster and the red amp. Is that? Oh wow, we're about halfway through almost. Sorry, I should be a little ashamed. I have a flip phone. I have an old school flip phone. I got it a year or so or more ago at I think it was the Dollar General or someplace for $10. And it's a track phone. I get double minutes, and so for like $20, I get 2 hours of talk time and 3 months of service. So basically, it's like $7 a month, and what's that? That's less than $2 a week, and that's what it cost me. See, so I'm so cheap. I actually have another phone, which is it's not like an iPhone or something. It's a smartphone. It's not that smart. It's a semi-intelligent phone. But I don't use it very often because this one is like smaller. It's just in my pocket. If I need to make a phone call, I can make a phone call. It's not very good for texting, but I don't want to text anyway. And I've been, just plagued by people, on the road when I'm driving who are texting. Either they're like, weaving all over the place because they're texting while they're driving, or they're texting when they get to the stoplight. And one thing I hate was because I used to drive delivery and I drove a cab, so I know, I kind of have the idea about the rhythm of the stoplights. If you catch them the right way, you get green lights all the way, and you can just sail on through. If you get off, though, you'll end up with red lights every single time, which is kind of what's been happening to me a lot lately. That's what happened to me on my way back from Cedar Rapids, actually, on Collins Road. Hit every single red light and had to wait. And but so if you're there and somebody's texting on their phone and there's a turning light, a little green arrow, and then you toot your horn at them, they get really mad at you because you waited, and then you both miss your turning light, you see. But then when they do get a chance to turn later, they go real slow because they're mad at you and they want to punish you, you see. And me, I'm in a hurry, So anyway, here, I'm sorry, I'm starting my issues. Okay, I'm going to change. I love this guitar, but I'm going to play the other one because I kind of like that one too. Hang on. Okay, if I turn the volume off, that means it's safe to unplug this. Yeah, and then speaking of being cheap, it's a little neoprene washer got at the hardware store for like 40 cents or 30 cents or I don't know, something like that. And you can get strap locks, and they're fairly expensive and sometimes hard to use. And sometimes you have to, like some of the models of strap locks, you actually have to install on the instrument. And I have so many instruments, but the little neoprene washer will keep this strap from coming off, you see. If I can get it on, which wasn't that an old Chicago song? I gotta get it on, I gotta get it. Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. I gotta get it on. I got it on, okay. Oh yeah, plug it in. Sorry. Okay. So this here is like a Players Strat. It's like top of the line Mexican Strat. I got it like half price. Still a lot more than $50, but I got it, some months ago or some time ago. Dark blue. It's called Sapphire Blue, and all the hardware here is all gold and stuff. We got gold tuners and gold bridge and everything like that. So it's a. Some people hate Mexican Fenders, but I like them actually. Very different from the Chinese ones or the Indonesian ones that they import. The Mexican ones are usually made out of the same wood, from my understanding. And some guy was telling me, and believe me, people tell me all kinds of stuff. I don't know what's true. I can't know what's true. I try to chase this down, but somebody's telling me that certain vintages of Mexican Fenders actually have better wood than the ones that are made up the coast in California. So this guy was telling me this, and he said he had a friend in New York, so I guess that makes it legitimate, who would buy go look for the right Fender, Mexican Fender, and take it home and take off all the pickups and replace them with other pickups and hardware. And that was the guitar I wanted because I really liked that vintage, like that year, and the wood they used. So anyway, so I have several Mexican Fenders, and I'm getting. We put some new pickups on it. I actually ordered some pickups for two Mexican Fenders that I have. I'm just going to change the pickups a little bit and kind of customize them a little bit. So I actually have a modest collection of Fender Stratocasters and Telecasters, but that's another subject. But with different pickups and different wood, like ash or poplar bodies, makes a difference. Like what it's made out of. Love that. So anyway, I'm gonna have all these different. I'll probably do a show on this. I'm gonna like line up a bunch of Stratocasters and just compare their voices. They should all be very different. This has Fender noiseless pickups on it. It came standard with it. I have another one that I played in the show before that has lace sensor pickups on it. And then I have another Fender that I had, American-made Fender that I had somebody put some Fender noiseless pickups on, but they were actually different, model of Fender noiseless Strat pickups. So those two guitars actually sound quite different, and this one and the other one, which is actually also blue, but a lighter color blue. Yeah. I want to rock. I think I bent the note a little too far. I want to switch amps real quick. Hang on. I'm going to handle this with great care. 'Cause, see, the tubes are hot, and they're also very expensive. So I'm going to. Okay. Don't nobody step in that now. All right, so let's see what we're looking at here. If I lightly and politely. There we go. Okay. See if we got much of stuff. Yeah. There we go. All right. So I thought that amp sounded really nice in the guitar shop. And turn it up a little bit here. That's better. Well, that's pretty good. It's not as good as the other one. But for $50. Why is it sizzling at me like that? Stop it. Hang on. A bargain is an item you can't use at a price you can't resist. We turn the volume off on the guitar. How does it sound? Just the same. Yeah. Okay. I've got like 15 minutes left. Let me check my flip phone. Yeah, 15 minutes. I think I like that Fender Princeton better. I mean, didn't do that over the Guitar Center. Of course, I've got TV lights here. But then again, at home, I have a really bad wiring or something. And the restaurant I play at has old wiring and yeah, hang on a second here. Maybe I can figure something out. That doesn't help. Does this help? No. Does this help? Huh. I just turned the treble way down. Yeah. Yeah.
When you turn the treble down, whatever I was hearing on the headphones went away. It's very high pitched. Really, probably 70% of people don't have everybody's hearing is shot now. Either
I
that
see.
or they have tinnitus and couldn't hear it anyway.
You can't hear it? Oh, good for you.
It was very very high pitched and subtle.
Yeah.
Of course, you have high standards, Tom. You want things
yeah.
to be perfect, which is good. But when you did turn the treble down, it went away. But like I say, maybe 40% of the audience would even have the hearing to be able to hear it anymore.
So
Since people grow up with their earbuds in their ears nowadays.
I am actually going to be playing in a nursing home later in April. The one where Phil lives, actually. But I suppose there nobody would notice it, right?
No, although some people have hearing aids and stuff which are quite sophisticated nowadays. And you never know. And that's a generation too that maybe didn't grow up with so much amplified music. And
You have little hairs in your ear, just all beat up, don't they?
well, they can. Yeah, it depends on your state of health and what you've done with your ears over the years. I mean, it's going to decline with age like everything else. But I'm sure if you tested their hearing at a place like that, it would be just all over the place.
So if I wait long enough, my hearing will be so bad that I won't bother me anymore.
Not necessarily.
Oh, okay. Well,
the Elliott Carter, the American composer, lived to 100.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't die that long ago. Too bad he's not around to ask him, well, how are your ears holding up after 100 years in the life of music? But
well, there's a guy, I forget his name, and it had a foreign accent. It was a foreign name, but I think he's a conductor. Oh, maybe he's a pianist. I forget. Anyway, I was on the radio, and he was interviewed. He said that he's 91. He's still playing concerts. A classical musician. Mm-hmm. And he said, I hope you can hear this. He said, when I'm on the stage, I don't feel like I'm any older than 50. Mm-hmm. And when I teach, I don't feel like I'm any older than 40. Mm-hmm. But when I walk up the stairs, I feel like I'm 91.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he said. So I thought that's my role model because
right. And things that involve the arts, as you grow older and mature in them, they become more of an internal thing.
Yeah.
So it's no big deal for Beethoven, for example, to compose when he was stone cold deaf. It was an
it was a big
internal
deal
process.
for him, I suppose.
Well, it was a big deal, but I mean, it was possible. A lot of people don't realize how.
Yeah, well, I've got the tunes in my head. Mm-hmm. What I try to do is to get the sound to come out of the instrument the way it is in my head. That's my life's goal.
Right.
And a lot of times I get there, but a lot of times I don't. See, I fall short so often, like most of us do. Mm-hmm. But at least I do. I fall short in many ways, but yeah.
Well, I think the mind fills in things that it may not be able to detect through its senses, and so I think that's why even if you do have some hearing loss, the musical experience can be just as rich as ever. I remember something many years ago. There was a composer here for a couple of years by the name of Kenneth Gaburo, who was remember him. he was talking about a music, kind of an experimental performance art thing that he was involved with, where they went outside. It was like maybe out in the Southwest, somewhere out in the big desert, and the musicians would gradually get farther and farther away from each other, and they would improvise and kind of call back and forth from a distance. And he made the passing observation that, and then you just kept going until you couldn't hear the other performers anymore. And he made the passing observation that some people dropped out sooner than later, depending on how good your ears were.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Well, I can.
But they were all functioning musicians. So.
I suppose the distance would also make. I mean, just the delay. Mm-hmm. Your counting might be hard. The conductor, light travels faster than the sound. So, and oil and water don't mix. And well, this is much better. I'm so much happier. You can hear you're right. Here we go. Well, I've come this far. And now I want to switch guitars again. There's the more fooling around I do, the less music I got to play. So, neoprene washer. I like this guitar. I don't like it as much as I like the other one that I have, but I mean the other Stratocaster that I have. It's was it the other 5 never mind. I don't know. I was actually I went up to the Guitar Center because today I was supposed to work at Co. And at Co, once a year they have what they call Flunk Day in the spring. And it's always a surprise when they're going to have Flunk Day. And on Flunk Day they have nothing but they got barbecue and volleyball and on the lawn and all kinds of other activities. And they sent me an email, but attached to the email there's signs to recognize for alcohol poisoning. So I don't know what's going on there. I was supposed to be teaching there today, and I have a lot of work to do with people. We've been kind of like falling behind. Students have been behind since spring break, which was not long ago, but the people came back with a flu and stuff like that, and so they have their juries at the beginning of May, which is about a month away, and they're supposed to play something really impressive. Supposed to play something really impressive for the jury, which of course is comprised of the string faculty. So not only do I want my students to sound good, but I got to sit there like for hours and hours and listen to all the violins and cellos and the violas and the harp and everything, and critique them. And I'm not really a music critic by nature. I only want to help. I don't know. What am I supposed to say? I mean, I want to say stuff like, that's not how you hold a bow, but but what are you supposed to say? Some people are very encouraging and say, it sounds very good, but you need a little bit of work. You say, that was painful. That was 4 minutes of my life I'll never get back. But I'm not going to write that in. Anybody here from Cedar Rapids? Sorry. My cohorts, but I mean, the thing is, of course, a lot of students are going to be music ed majors in college. They're going to learn how to teach, like band and orchestra. So they have to learn these other instruments that they didn't do when they were kids. They're kids now, but they're like 20 now, and they were. So you hear people like clarinet players trying to learn how to play the trombone, practicing. Sometimes in the next room. Anyway, I know how to suffer. that's it anyways. Another hour has gone by. Another Tom's Guitar Show. There have been over 1,000 Tom's Guitar Shows now. You think I'd have a life by now, but no. I'll be back next week.